to share with you my tips on how to save money on wedding invitations. So first things first is save the date. And my tip for you on how to save money on a save the date is to not send them at all. So when I think of save the date, literally what it is you are sending them to your friends and family and saying, hey, please mark your calendar, I'm getting married on this date. To me, that's very old school. So if you think about back in the day when we had landlines and we didn't necessarily have long distance, and then also if you had relatives that were out of state, you probably didn't see them a whole lot. So sending a save the date was absolutely necessary to say, hey, I'm getting married, please mark your calendar. Well, today we have so many different forms of communication. Why send a save the date? So we have social media, cell phones offer long distance easily. So really, you're staying connected with friends and family consistently, if you want to, I guess. So I know for me, when I got engaged and I put that up on Facebook, all my friends and family, everybody that I wanted to know that I was engaged knew. And they asked me right away, hey, when's the date? I want to mark my calendar now. So when it came time to send save the dates, I was like, all my friends and family already know when I'm getting married. Why would I send them a save the date as an additional cost to me? So I just skipped it. I didn't send them at all. And when it came down to my wedding, the people that wanted to be there were there, and they were there for me. So save the date, skip it. But I did send wedding invitations, and I actually made them myself. So I used Microsoft PowerPoint, and I literally went on Google Images, typed in wedding invitations, found an image of a setup that I liked, and so I just kind of copied it and put my own twist on it. So this is my actual wedding invitations that I sent out. I contacted my photographer and I said, hey, can I use our engagement pictures? And she said, go for it. So I just positioned the pictures how I wanted, added some text. The text says, we're getting married, come celebrate with us August 15th. And then on the back, I just put another picture of us, and then just saying, we're getting married, the time, date, dress code, and then also on here I had a website to RSVP to. So we found this free website, and there's plenty of them out there, where you go and create your own page. And on there, people can type in the link, and they go to your page, and they say, Joe Smith is bringing 2 people. So that way they can RSVP. So it worked out really well because we didn't have them send back mail to us to RSVP. Also, we just had catered in Italian food. I didn't have salmon or chicken as an option. So sending back an RSVP in the mail wasn't really necessary. So we just cut that part all out and then just did the online version. So when it came time to print my invitations, I did 2 per page. So really that helped out on cutting the cost in half because I was doubling up on how many invitations per page, which I didn't have to print as many. So I printed 60 sheets, which was technically 120 invitations, which was way more invitations than I needed, but I just wanted to make sure that I had enough. I went to Office Depot, and they have options where you can do black and white, you can do color. Also, you can pick what kind of paper you want. So you can really customize your invitations to match how much you want to spend. Rather if you want them inexpensive or more expensive, you really make that up to yourself. So I printed out my invitations. For the 60 that I printed out, it cost me $12 and some change at Office Depot. So I was really shocked at how inexpensive it was, and it was totally worth it because I saved so much money on my invitations, and I really liked the way they turned out. So I highly recommend that if you have the time to make your own invitations. Another tip on how to save money on invitations is keep in mind that say you're inviting 150 people to your wedding. That doesn't mean you need 150 invitations. because you're sending one per household. So maybe one household has 5 people, or maybe just one, or maybe 2 people. But keep in mind, you don't need 150 invitations. So that way you cut down the cost by not printing way more than you need to. So don't forget about that. So my tips are to not send save the dates, skip that altogether, make your own invitations, and don't forget that invitations aren't one per person, it's per household. So help yourself to avoid printing out too many. So I hope you enjoy my tips. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to my page.